Hi, welcome to YeenWorks. Today we're putting in an ice maker, so how about you come along and watch me struggle. Step numero uno, locate the pipes, which we did. And so we need to make a hole along this whole area from where the pipe is to where the refrigerator is right here. So we're gonna make a nice straight line and we're just gonna eyeball, I don't know, 6 or 7 inches. Not a bad looking line. That should be enough room to get up in there on the pipe. Why they ever chose to do textured in a basement? I mean, I know why. It's to hide their piss poor drywall skills, but still. Can you not sit there, Guinness? I love that they're so interested in everything I do. Cool. Oh, I got some of it in my eye. Shit. I know it's just stucco, but God, my eyeball. Most people would take a Sawzall to it. Most people would also discover pipes the easy way. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna use, it's probably a wood blade, but it'll work for plaster. Is this gonna reach where I need it to be here? Ooh, that might be a problem. Would you mind being not only camera, but can you just one hand that? Arm's getting tired. Where my big one went. Somewhere I had like a huge one of these. Unfortunately, since I can't take the screws out, the only way this is coming out is in chunks. So that's unfortunate, but you know, that is how it is sometimes, I guess. Those are the wrong screws they used. It's a fun fact. Fine thread drywall screws are for metal studs only, not wood. Wood studs get a coarse thread drywall screw, so this tells me that whoever did this either didn't know what they were doing or just didn't care. Well, and of course they have painted the literal shit out of it, so it's like half glued. Come on. Sorry for like making your office a mess. You know what I see already? Someone's been in here. That's new. And that's 14. Oh God. That one came out easy because they didn't even put screws in that one. Let's count them out. Let's see, we got 1, 2, but wait, there's more. 3 screws within an inch of each other. Good job. We're gonna have to vacuum the shit out of that carpet, but it is what it is. There's the hot pipe. Some folks would grab a Sawzall reciprocating saw to do a job like this. And while you could do that, if you look at how close this pipe sits to the drywall, it's basically on top of it. How easy would it be for somebody with a nice long Sawzall blade to go right into this live water line, and now your night just got worse because you fucking busted a pipe. But I mean, look how close that pipe is. You could imagine with a, you know, Sawzall, construction saw, demo saw, whatever you call it, it'd be so easy to hit that pipe and never know it. I used to do everything with a Sawzall, and I'll tell you, I made mistakes. I've hit pipes. I've nicked electric, and it's not fun. It's a good way to lose a good tool. Come on. Good. Oh, what is that? Grounding strap. Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure it wasn't a hidden valve behind the drywall. Smart people would wear safety glasses. Smart people also wouldn't do this job stoned. Now we've reached the part of putting in the ice maker line where we need to make some holes. Now, again, making holes means you need to know what's above and below where you're drilling. Now in my case, because we've just removed a section of drywall, I know where my supply pipe is, and I know where, roughly speaking, my refrigerator sits and where that hole needs to be. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go upstairs, we're gonna pull the fridge all the way out, and I'm gonna drill my hole from the top down because I know that the wall falls somewhere within the first inch of this spacing. Measured off of where the gas pipe goes up behind the oven, I've measured back to the edge, the inside edge of that wall, and it was about 58 inches, which puts us right about here. What I'm hoping for is we get a nice, easy to access hole here, and then all I gotta do is put a hole through each one of the joists, which I can, yes, because these are sistered, okay. Put a small hole for the water line to go through each one of these, ultimately ending up over here, because this should be our cold line. I will go upstairs and run the hot water to verify, but I am pretty sure this is our cold and this is our hot. So we'll tap off here with everybody's favorite valve, the saddle valve. Now, any plumbers are probably rolling their eyes and going, "Don't do that!" And it's like, you know what? You're not wrong. The reason I like saddle valves is once you put them in, assuming you don't fuck with it and it's not in a horribly unmaintained basement, I've had fantastic success with these lasting for well over a decade. And if you do end up needing to replace one of these, it's not that hard. I know people are like, "Oh, but it could leak, it could do this, it could do that." A lot of things can happen. It's a matter of time versus results. And in this case, the amount of time it would take me to turn the water off, cut that pipe, solder in a T, get the solder to stick and not leak, because I'm not the best at sweating pipe. I can do it, but I prefer not to. It's very rudimentary how it functions, but I tell you what, these things are genius. So it's gonna saddle the pipe, and then this will be withdrawn, right? The needle valve will be all the way up. And then once we get this good and tight, we're just gonna let this pierce that copper. And then when we wind it back open, it will have water pressure to the fridge. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get this pipe prepped for this valve, and where this should sit is I'm gonna try to get it roughly in this neighborhood, and I want to put the T up because I want to keep this as flush to the ceiling as possible. We'll see how this fits once I get it, but we're gonna go run the water quick, just verify which one of these is our hot line. I'm just gonna turn that on. I'm gonna go down there and hold the pipe.
We're gonna see which one of these gets warm.
Ooh, that gets hot fast. Whoa, cool. It is indeed the, I'm gonna grab that again to make sure I'm not stupid. Yeah, oh god damn, that is hot. That way, beyond the shadow of a doubt, I'm not giving this bastard hot water. Do a down and dirty cleanup on this pipe with some sanding cloth. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna put it on the side here, just so I have better access to see the packing and everything, because if this valve ever did decide to start weeping, I'd be able to tighten the packing nut and get a little bit more life out of it. Make sure our needle's all the way back. I just tighten it up till the tabs start to bend a little bit, because all you're trying to do is make sure that that rubber is good and seated against the copper, because you want to make sure the moment that it pierces that copper, you don't have water coming out anywhere it shouldn't be. There we go. Perfect. So the plan is going to be to now get holes in each one of these joists, dead center, and get our water line over here to the fridge. Oh, I guess before we do that, I should go upstairs and make a hole through the floor for said water line. It's a little warm back here. Our ice maker hookup is right here on the bottom back of the fridge. So I want my water line to be as close to that. So I'm thinking maybe somewhere right about here. This part right here should be just inside of where those big wood beams are. We're gonna go straight down and see what we get. Well, good, I can see the floor, so cool. All right, let's see where that put me here. Oh, that's perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better spot. Well, now we gotta make some holes, because I need to get from there to there. Oh, and this one has a duct, so I have to go down, because the hose can't go through that, so I'm gonna have to come down to like here. That is literally the smallest hole I can get away with for this. Make sure that's clean. It looks like I'll have just enough to reach the extension piece that'll be upstairs. Yeah, unfortunately, we had to kind of go up and then under the duct and over, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Get a face full of shit. Make sure there's no dirt in this washer. Anytime you're doing these ice maker lines, make sure there's a rubber washer in there. It's not super common, but I have bought these hoses in the past where that rubber is just missing for whatever reason. And if you hook this up without that in there, you're gonna have a bad time. Here we got it threaded on, and we have a nice sweeping bend that comes through and kind of goes around so that we don't have any hard kinks in our line. I usually go until I feel the hose tension up against the seat. Like that, yep. We have our stub line sticking up. Now, because that's only a 10-foot, clearly that won't reach the fridge to let it get pushed back and pulled out. What I picked up is a little 1/4x1/4 inline valve so that it's not only a union, but I can turn the water off at this point should I need to disconnect the fridge without needing to go downstairs and touch that valve. And then I got the shortest length I could, which is a 5-foot, just another 1/4-inch braided stainless hose. Just to be safe, that goes in the bucket. It'll work until I can get back up here with a pair of pliers. All right, let's go ahead and pierce the valve. Okay. You hear water. The way I like to do this is I will open the valve all the way until we feel it back seat right there. And then I go a half turn forward. Anyone who's ever had an old hose valve or an old shutoff that's a multi-turn valve, if you open that and tightly backseat it the whole way, it will get corroded and stuck there and you will never get that valve to move again. Everything looks good here, no leaks. So now we're gonna go up, make sure that we are tight on the union, as well as flushing the line before hooking it up to the fridge. Remember how I said I only hand tightened these lines? Yeah. Not a drop of water, but I'm gonna snug these up just a little bit. Cool. And then we're just gonna go ahead, now that we have this convenient shut-off valve in line up here, I can flush all the line out. Hi, Finn. What you doing? Yeah? You think this is for you? Obviously not a waterfall, you know, but it's a 1/4-inch ice maker line. So like, what do you really expect for flow? Water's cold at least. Ah, see, that packing nut's leaking. That's where you can grab this packing nut, give it a little snug. Not much at all. That was barely a quarter, not even a 1/4 turn. And you see, it doesn't leak anymore. It just squished that packing down against the stem to keep it from leaking. Cool. And then that hose will just snake back out of the way as I push the fridge back.
Cool.
Let's go downstairs, make sure there's no leaks. Man, never thought I'd be this sweaty in a video before. Everything over here, nice and bone dry. Nothing is wet anywhere on any of our connections. We're also just looking along the hose, making sure nothing stands out. No water coming out. Cool. All right. Whew. Cool. It rolls suspiciously easy for its weight. Oh yeah, that looks great. Will our bucket fit? Not really sure how long I should bother running this, but I would say at this point I've probably gotten any old water in the fridge out, because this was sitting in storage, plugged in, turned on for the better part of a year, I would say. Thankfully it was kept cold, but I just want to be sure. I'm gonna say that's probably good. Now I can go ahead and change the filter in it and run more water through. Okay. I think that's it. I'm gonna be real, I've never done it before. Yep. Isn't this exciting? This is content right here. All right, that's probably fine. That's pretty good. Well, I appreciate you joining on this adventure. Hopefully you enjoyed my shenanigans. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me what I did right. That's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.